about him. But in a few minutes, you're going to hear from him.
I got a lot of good shit to tell you all this evening.
Hallelujah.
Talk to me. Say something.
You have heard so much about him.
Hallelujah.
May I ride?
Hallelujah.
If y'all don't like it, well, if y'all...
Hallelujah.
Talk to me. Say something.
Hallelujah.
If y'all don't like it, well, then fuck you too.
Hallelujah.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, and many and millions of y'all all on this earth and around the world. Welcome to a channel where you can just vent and speak your mind so freely and expeditiously. Remember, it's not what's said, it's how it's said. So please be mindful and respectable to others as you want them to respect you as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in, view, check out, and watch the Carlos Stargell Show with your host, the boss with the hot sauce,
the king with the real thing,
the prince with all the sense, the hound with the crowd,
the dog with it all,
Carlos Stargell,
the last.
Because when they made him, they broke the mold. So now it's time for the Carlos Stargell Show with your host, Carlos Stargell,
the last.
Hallelujah.
I got a lot of good shit to tell you all this evening.
Hallelujah.
Talk to me. Say something.
Hallelujah.
I got a lot of good
If y'all don't like it, well, then fuck you too.
Chain on.
Yo, 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 what's up? What's happening? How y'all be? Tell me something good, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and boys and girls, and many and millions of y'all all in around the world. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to check out and tune in and watch the Carlos Stargell Show, a channel where you can just vent and speak your mind so freely and expeditiously. But always remember this, it's not what's said, it's how it's said. So please be mindful and respectable towards one another as y'all like to be respected as well. But anyway, sit back and relax because this is going to be a stone groove. Y'all didn't pay no money, so there's no need for y'all acting funny. And I know what to do to set the groove and put y'all in the mood and shit. I can't lose what I can use. And don't you dare be sour. So now's the time for the Carlos Stargell Show with your host, the boss with the hot sauce,
The king with the real thing,
the prince with all the sense,
the hound with the crown, the dog with it all,
Carlos Stargell, the last. Because after they made me, they broke the mold. Okay, y'all. What's up? What's happening? How y'all be? Welcome to the Carlos Stargell Show. I'm your host, Carlos Stargell, the last. Like I said, after they made me, they broke the mold. I heard that, Rick. And how you doing, Teresa, Rick? And I want to thank both of y'all for participating on the live chat, and that means a lot, especially from my favorite people from Georgia. Teresa, you know you my buddy from Decatur, West Grade, and Rick, you know we go back since Avondale High School, and that's a good thing. And like I said, we met, and then we met waiting for the bus, and that was the first real conversation we had. And it was a pleasure, and it's been a pleasure from day one. And that's why we've been tighter than tight since then. And then we got a whole lot in common. We both like the same
sugar honey iced tea.
I know you do, Teresa. You my homie. You my East Moon Coon. And so are you, Rick. Anyway, y'all doing all right. I'm all right if y'all all right. Yeah. What I'm going to talk about now. Now, while I was in intermission, I was watching one of my favorite TV shows. You already know, Sanford and Son. Now, you know that's been my show ever since I was a kid. And I still love it to this day. And y'all know it as well as I know. Fred Sanford didn't have the sense that God gave him. I mean, that dude was funny as I don't know what. He didn't care what came out of his mouth. But just to let y'all know, before they actually aired the show on TV, they was kind of skeptical about putting his show on because y'all know he had a reputation for being nasty before the. Yep, they had a show. He had a reputation for being nasty. I mean, what came up with him came out. And you know, put it like this, they knew he was too real. They thought he was too real for television, which he was real now. Because I'm gonna tell you something, the character he played was to the T. But check this out, but a lot of people didn't know the actual character Fred Sanford the name was in honor of his deceased brother, Fred G. Sanford.
And the G stood for Glenn.
Yes, it did. Because Red Fox's real name was John Elroy Sanford. But a lot of people didn't know that Sanford was his real name. But after doing a whole bunch of reading when I was young, I figured that out. That's why it's good. That's why they say reading is fundamental. So if you got a chance to learn how to read, take advantage of it. Especially, you know, you got to learn when you're young. You got some people my age and older can't read, but I don't try to knock them. If anything, I try to help them. But I'm going to tell you this, though. It's not what, I mean, like I said, I don't have no problem with people who don't know how to read. But it's not even about that. It's about the way they carry themselves on the real, for real. Because, you know, you got some people that got these disabilities, but at the same time, they can be real pricks. You know what I'm saying? But they still got attitudes because they feel like, hey, no, I think the reason why I think it's the fact that they bitter because they not able to read or whatever. But who fault is that? It's their fault because if they really wanted to learn, they really would learn. But like I said, like I told y'all once before, and over time again, our people got to start. I mean, yeah, we got to start doing better. Instead of trying to put each other down and talk about one another, we need to try to be more encouraging, inspiring, and uplifting. But guess what? Like I said, but there's a lot of you. That's right, Rick. But I'm gonna tell you this: there's a lot of people now that we done got older. A lot of them still in the same predicament and in the same boat. A lot of them ignorant and mad because they poor. But like I said, who fault is that? It's theirs because if they really wanted to do better, they could. But I'm gonna say that they want to blame everybody, but they want to blame the system, but they don't want to blame themselves. But yeah, the system got a lot to do with it too, because I'm gonna tell you something about the so-called system. They like to tell you what they want you to know and want you to hear. Now they tell you they tell you what they want you to hear, not what you need to know. Basically, what they doing is having you co-signing they bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But see, me personally, that's why I'm glad, and that's why I tell people all the time, when you go to school, yeah, they teach you about reading, writing, arithmetic, and all that. Yeah, that's all fine and good too. But what you really need to be learning is survival. Yeah. Also, what you need to learn in school too, you gotta learn too that they trying to let you know that this world is so cruel that they don't give a F about nobody but themselves. That's right. Duty calls, but guess what? Common sense. Look, I figured that out. Especially with some of these so-called teachers, because now don't get it twisted. Like I told y'all all the time, we got some good and bad in all of it. But you got these so-called teachers. A lot of them ain't in it because they care. A lot of them was in it before for the money.
Talk to me. Say something.
But then, you had but back when I was going, especially, yeah, you too, Rick. We had some teachers, not only they care, but, we had a lot of them that was cooler than Santa Claus.
Holla if you hear me.
Yes, Lord. Like Rick, I'm gonna tell you one teacher. Now, there's a lot of teachers I was cool with. Now, one of them was Mr. Welcome. Yeah, the special education teacher, the one that the teacher over the disabled kids. But guess what? That dude was so cool, Rick. I remember him and Coach Smyer stopped me in the hallway, and I knew I wasn't in trouble. Everybody else thought I was, but I knew I wasn't in trouble. Because if I was in trouble, I would have known it. But anyway, Mr. Welcome and Coach Smyer stopped me in the hall, and they were letting me know that the Crusaders was coming to town. And they asked me would I like to go. I said, shoot, yeah. So all I had to do was ask my mom and grandma, could I go? They gave okay. So we had a ball. And then Rick, I'm going to ask you about another teacher, Miss Polinetz. I don't know if you remember her, but that was one teacher that I met who actually kept it real. She was as real can get. I never had her for a class, but me and her done talked a lot of times when I was at Avondale. But guess what else too, Rick? Before I left Georgia and moved to North Carolina, I ran into her at Kroger. We had a wonderful conversation and a great talk. I was so glad to see her, but I let her know that I was moving to North Carolina. And then she asked me, she said, I remember your voice being deep in high school. She said, let me ask you this. She said, did you ever sing in the choir? I said, I still do. And she was like, good. So when I started hitting them certain church songs, like parts of them church songs, that blew her mind. She said, I remember you were shamefaced it when you was at Avondale. She said, what happened? You know what I told her? God and my kids changed me. I told her God, life, and my kids. They changed me. Because I remember, yeah, but she was right. I was real shamefaced it. But when we talked at Kroger, like I said, we had a wonderful, great conversation. And I thought I wanted to bring that up to you, Rick, because like I said, Miss Polinetz was one of them teachers I enjoyed being around because that lady was real as real can get. And during that time, she was young too. And I didn't realize she was that young. But like I said, she was one of the coolest teachers. I used to love it. I enjoyed being around. I mean, like I said, I never had her as a student, but we used to run into each other, talk in the hall a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, like I tell these students, a lot of these teachers are not bad people. You got some good teachers. You got some who really care. But you got some too that's off the chain. But guess what?
They're human.
And like I said, we all got faults and flaws. But I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to ask you this too, Rick. Do you remember it was a teacher we had at Avondale? It was a teacher who had got arrested and got fired. He was the math teacher. And guess what? I was acing that class too before he got arrested. I mean, wasn't making nothing but A's in that class. And I heard he got arrested. That kind of shocked me right there. I said, what did this man do? And then when they told me what he did, which I will not repeat on him, I mean, it shocked the HE double hockey sticks out of me. But then, like I said, he's human too. He have his flaws and his faults. I mean, he's just like anybody else. He's no better than nobody on this earth. But then again, when I first came there, he tried to send me to the office because of a shirt I had on. But like I said, but when Mr. Henderson let him know that there wasn't nothing wrong with it, I gave him that look like, yeah, motherfucker. That's what I said. And he didn't give me no more because he didn't give me no issue because I told him, you mess with me, I know I can go tell Mr. Henderson. But that was my partner too. Old Charlie Henderson. That was my homie at Avondale. Him, Mr. Hogan. Mr. Kitchen, I was cool with all three of them, man, for real. I mean, I never gave them no static. They never gave me no static. I mean, we were just cool. I mean, because I always showed them respect when I talked to them, and then tried to let them know I wasn't down with all that troublesome crap, man. If anything, I let them know too. If I can't help you, I don't need to be bothered. And if I can't encourage, I ain't got nothing to say. But like I said, but me and Mr. Henderson, we always been cool, though. I mean, that joker used to call me out of class, and they used to think I used to get in trouble. He's want me to come out just to sit down and talk with him. But there wasn't nothing wrong with that, because we did have good conversation. On the real, for real. And then people, what you Mr. They said, what you went to Mr. Henderson's office. What you do? What you get in trouble for? I said, I didn't get in trouble. What y'all talk about? You know what I told them?
Life.
That's what I basically told him, life. But like I said, he was cool. And you know, like I said, people, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, just like we talked about before, Rick, when we were young. People are people. Everybody's got good and bad. Nobody's perfect. We all have flaws. Right? And everybody makes mistakes. And that is so true. And Rick, I can honestly say, that's why I'm glad to have you. I'm glad I always had you as a friend, buddy. We've been friends from day one, and then like I said, and your father, God bless him. I miss him too. Your father did one hell of a job raising you by itself. You know what? I had to give him. I gave more than the thumbs up. I gave him the props, the praises, the blessings, and the love for how he did a wonderful job with you, Rick, man. Because I'm gonna say this right here. Now, you could have been out there, but guess what? We remember what we had growing up with some of these Rudy Poots don't have today. Manners, priorities, values, respect, and all the things that were required we needed as a child, as children. But guess what, man? These kids today, only thing I can say, it's scary. They scare me now. Scared. I can't even. I'd be scared to say something to them now, because I don't know if they're gonna pull out a gun or cut you or what. Best thing to do, I just don't say nothing, because guess what? I leave it in the hands of the Lord, and I let the laws of karma. I let the laws of karma prevail.
Holla at your head, man.
But I'm gonna say this too, because I'm gonna tell you this. I remember, you know how you have the most smart aleck kids. Yeah, I'm talking about them Rudy Poots. I remember one dude, when I was at Kroger, I told him, I said, don't come in here with all that noise. Don't come in bringing all that noise in here at Kroger. He talking about, you don't tell me what to do. I said, you're right, I don't tell you what to do. But I said, you keep on, I'm going to tell your daddy. You don't know my dad? I said, nigga. I said, motherfucker, neither do you. I told him just like that. And then, it kind of made him look stupid, but at the same time, too, after I embarrassed him, dude respected me. He came back like 10 minutes later, and he was like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that he apologized. So, you know what I did? I accepted his apology, showed him some love, and I let him know. If you need somebody to talk to, sit down and talk with, just come on up here and let me know. But I said, catch me before I clock in now. He was like, you got it. And ever since then, he said he really told me that I saved his life. I don't know what I did so spectacular that made him change for the better. But I thank the Lord for it. But I'm gonna say this too. I'm glad I'm good for something. because you got a lot of these young folks who really don't like to listen. They don't like to listen. They don't respect their elders, and they just don't. They just ain't got no guidance in life. But sometimes, if you could just, you got a lot of people like that, but there's a right way and a wrong way you can reach out to these youngins. Just show them that. Let them know that God loves them, and a whole lot of other people do too. Because guess what? Because you never know their story. You never know what they've been through in life. You don't know what they're going through, and maybe they need that guidance and somebody to talk to. And you know what? A kind word and a kind thought helps a lot sometimes. And guess what? Like I said, and for what I heard, for when I talked to him the last time, he gave his life to the Lord. Wonderful. And when I heard he gave his life to the Lord, and I found out that Miss Minnie was the one who talked to him, my pastor. Yes. Like I said, there's a right way and a wrong way for any and everything. And like I said, instead of talking about people and putting them down and making them feel like they lower and low, we need to be more uplifting, inspiring, and encouraging, and let them know that God loves them, and a whole lot of people do too. And like I said, and they don't have to do wrong to try to make situations right. If anything, give it to the Lord. Whatever you're going through, give it to God. Because if anything, the Lord have all the answers. We don't. We don't know. I'm not going to say I know everything because I don't. But I'm going to say this right here. I know enough. And I know what I know from the experience I went through. So, peep this, y'all. Experience should be your best teacher. And guess what? Because I know it's mine. And that's why I'm very cautious about a whole lot of stuff in this day and time. I done got to the point in my life where not only I could just, I'm damn sure gonna do it. And like I said, what we need to do now, like I said, we need to try to be more uplifting, be more encouraging, and be more inspiring instead of trying to put others down. And like I said, the ones who try to keep us down and don't want us to have nothing. Yeah, bad as I want to get a hold to them. Guess what? I don't have to get physical to do that. The mind can be very, very powerful. That's what we got to use. We use our mind because that can overcome a whole lot of stuff. And after it's all said and done, and the way we use our mind, and the ones who try to keep us down and don't want us to have nothing, guess what? I have the pleasure and the fun. I will have the honor and the pleasure and the privilege to make those so-called Anglo-Saxon Plymouth Rock stomping, cross burning, laying, stealing, lying, conniving, egg sucking dogs. I would love to give them. I would love not to give them the satisfaction, because the only satisfaction I can give them is to make them look and feel what they already are. Very stupid.
Holla at the head, man.
God dang all right. But anyway, y'all, my session is up. But I want to thank all the ones who took the time to view and watch the Carlos Stargell show. And I want to thank the first time, unique, recurring, and new viewers. And if you haven't subscribed, and if you find it in your heart and feel it in your soul, please hit the like or that subscription bell.
And I sure would appreciate it.
And I want to thank Teresa Baker and my homie, Rick Reed, for participating on the live chat. Hey, y'all. if I get more people to participate on the live chat, subscribe, and look, and just to let y'all know too, live one-on-one streaming is also available. So those who like to go live or want to go live, I do it through Zoom live streaming. So let me know in advance if y'all like to schedule, if y'all want to schedule to go live, and I'll be glad to schedule for a live stream. That's all I can do is ask. It's up to y'all. But just FYI, PSA and FR, this is the last session I'm doing today. I will resume Monday, but I might or I might not live stream Saturday for the Royal Rumble. I might not, but I know for sure I will be back live streaming Monday. But right now, I'm gonna take a breather after this session's up, and I'm just gonna. But unless the spirit move me, I might do it the weekend. But if not, I'll catch y'all cats on the flip mode, and that's Monday. And then I will do live streaming with Zoom Monday too as well. So those who want to go live or like to go live, just hit me up and let me know, and I'll be glad to schedule us for a live chat. But until later on, brothers and sisters, God bless you. I love you. Y'all be good. Y'all take care of yourselves and each other. And by all means,
Please be on your best behavior and behave yourself.
and thank y'all so much for taking the time to check out, tune in, and watch the Carlos Stargell Show with your host, yours truly, Carlos Stargell.
The last.
Because after they made me, they broke the mold. So until Monday, y'all, peace, two fingers. I'm out here like last year. And thank y'all so much for checking out the Carlos Stargell Show. Later when you're straighter.